disrespectful to say to him. But I do hope that he tries to grasp the truth that I put in front of him 3 times, and then the 4th time I said, you know what, I got to call it like it is. Dana gave us a, kind of come speak your voice, speak your mind to him, talk to him. I didn't really like the way she, kind of handled the room, but hey, to each their own. I was just trying to be respectful and show him the Negro scholarship that we do have. And my main thing, it wasn't about any of that. My main thing was that I asked him directly, Judge Joe Brown, what do you mean by none of us are owed anything? And he said, well, none of us are owed anything. I said, Judge Joe Brown, Special Field Orders 15, period, for winning the Civil War for the Union Army. Are you saying that was not, number one, a treasonous action by Andrew Johnson after he took the helm after Abraham Lincoln was assassinated? I asked him straight up. I said, "Do you really don't think that was treasonously taken away, and furthermore, treasonously, obviously usurped and used on the opposite side? That the Confederates got the reparations." So yeah, I do not agree with that at all. We are owed 100%. We are owed Special Field Orders 15. And the judge of all people, elders, period. Well, I can't call him the elder anymore, but elders, they should support the grassroots, because we are following in our ancestor, the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s footsteps. And I can't see anything else, but that's my personal, I guess, not beef, but that's my bone to pick with the judge. We are owed directly Special Field Orders 15, and I'll land it right there, Newstoter.
Okay, thank you. And I want to read your super chat that you had real quick. And shout out to Dana, because I asked Dana to come on here because I had heard, there was a bunch of rumblings about that space that they had. I saw the title. Matter of fact, it was the same night we had when I believe it was Tuesday night, and I saw the title and I said, I know this is gonna be something up in that space. I wish I could have got it, but I think our space started at 8, and Dana's and Judge Joe Brown, they do a space on Tuesday, and it started at 9 o'clock. So I want to read real quick what that Negro had to say. He says, and because like I say, Judge Joe Brown, to my knowledge, he's not going to be in here because the judge has prior engagements, and he tries to rest up on the weekend as well too. That's why I wanted Dana, because she hosts the spaces with Judge Joe Brown, so she can actually go back. And when I get to Dana, I want to go back and kind of go ahead too. And how did we get to this point? Because like I say, was it the tweets that started around the 4th of July, maybe a day or so before the 4th of July, and afterwards about reparation and wealth and being able to create your own wealth to a certain degree, that started this whole conversation that they had? So let me go ahead and read this. I'm going to read this your super chat real quick. That Negro says, Judge Joe Brown is a BANF community owed Special Field Orders 15, winning the Civil War for the Union Army. Are you an elder or an older? Okay, so I believe that he's an elder. I believe he's older, but I believe that he's also an elder too, because he's done a number of things in the community. He has a big time background. So, but I want to go ahead and Art, I got you up here too. I want to go ahead and go to Dana, because like I said, I wasn't in the space. I heard a little bit of it, but I didn't have a chance to hear all of it. It was 6-hour space. I did not have a chance to hear all of that. So I want to go ahead and I did look at the tweets and stuff that I believe led up to it, because I know a lot of people kind of doubt what a lot of people, think that Judge Joe Brown may be against reparations. And I've even heard some people say that they think Dana's not for reparations as well too. So Dana and Art, I'm gonna get to you, and Professor, I'm gonna get to you, but Dana, I want to kind of backtrack to how did we get to this point? Because like I said, I know you guys had a pretty good sized space on Tuesday night, and from what I can remember, it was titled Reparations to Jehovah. And can you just kind of backtrack a little bit, Dana? Let us know, how do we get to this point where everybody now is kind of, in their feelings one way or another? Some people support what Judge Joe Brown said about reparations, while other people feel like, hey, He said some stuff that, maybe didn't sit well with him about reparations as well, too. How do we get to this point, Dana? Was it because of tweets that came out before the 4th of July and you guys said, you know what, we're going to create a space on this? Exactly. How did we get to this point that we're at right now where people are kind of questioning, Judge Joe Brown's, his view of reparations?
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you. How you doing tonight, Dana?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Hi, everybody. He tweeted, it was several tweets he tweeted, and I guess people didn't like it. So I was like, oh, let's do the space around it so you can, answer questions and address it or whatever. And so the title, I came up with that because I know it triggered people and people easily triggered. So that's why I came up with the title. And I actually had I'm not good with titles, so I had a friend of mine who's good with titles. And so that was the thing behind the title, just to trigger people emotions. Just like it was a couple, but the thing is, the people in the space that came to speak, those were not the people that I thought was going to pull up. So it was somewhat like a pull up, because I put open mic, but I should have put #pull up, because Saturday, I didn't know people had a problem with his tweets, but so what? People are entitled to their opinions and they're entitled to their feelings. The judge don't give a shit. He really don't.
Try not to curse, Dana, but go ahead.
Yeah, I said S, but 10 minutes say you just don't say the F, but I know what you're saying. Did I say F?
You say don't give an S, but go ahead.
Okay, fine. Okay. But anyway, he don't care. But people are entitled to their feelings. But anyway, so it was the Saturday space. Shut up, Saturday space. I always say that's the project space, but it'd be fun. And but Shut Up is the one that he DM'd me, I guess, to come into space because as people were talking about his tweets or whatever. So that's how it started. So when I signed up for the space Tuesday, it was more so a pull-up, and I even said it during the space. This is for people, who were talking a whole bunch of mess. There were people talking a whole bunch of disrespectful mess. Like as if the judge lived down the street from you and he was a bully or something. So that was the opportunity for them to come and talk. None of them showed up. Now, the people that came, a lot of times they're the regulars, or just regular people, expressing their perspective, their opinions and stuff like that, whether they agree or disagree. It was a good discussion. So that's how that all came about. But at the end of the day, so what if he says what he said? Just because he's a quote unquote elder, first of all, he's not linked to no organization. He doesn't have to support grassroots for what? If you are an individual and you have a grassroots organization, do your thing. Do your thing. Stop looking for people to hold your hand. Stop looking for people to lead you and lead yourself. Everyone is grown. And you're talking about grown, especially in my spaces. Nobody's not some of them not under 25, but you are a grown man. And probably in your 30s, and women in your 30s, 40s, and older. So why do you want a 77-year-old man leading you? Now, if you want advisement, if you want guidance, or if you have questions about one thing, of course, ask him, and he's going to answer it. But if he answers your question, which he's going to answer it based on facts, especially when it has to do with the law, history, politics, constitution, stuff like that, don't get upset in your feelings, especially when you have not done the proper research to try and counter to say that he's wrong. So a lot of questions that he answered, it was based in fact. Now, you may not agree with that fact, and that's fine. But I'm just like, listen, the space to me, it was a good space. It was 6 hours, and I'll never do that again. But I'm just honestly to the point to where I'm tired of the reparations talk. It's like you're hitting a wall with it. Yes, we know that it's old. the conversations, and I said this during the space, needs to be turned to what are we going to do? And that was also a major basis of the space as well. And I did say in the beginning of the space, and I said it several times throughout, that space was not for people who are actually organizing, part of organizations, and actually doing stuff where they live at. Because I know of several, you know, and then some of those people are active on X, but they are actually pushing legislation where they live at. That space wasn't for them. That space was for everybody else, Black Americans in general, that always say, we need this, okay, but you never come up with any solutions. So the whole space was about reparations, and it was opportunity for people who got any feelings about what he tweeted, to ask him the questions, to push back or whatever. And for me to start saying the conversation needs to shift to action, call to action, and financially supporting these organizations that are pushing for reparations. So, yeah.
Okay, so Dana, let me just, before we go further, DJ, I sent you the co-host, but when you must have dropped down, now it's reading that you can't send two, so I'm going to have to go ahead, and while everybody's talking in a second, I'm going to have to close it out and then come back in real quick because I sent it to you, but somehow you didn't, I don't know if you didn't accept it or you had an issue at first, but before I want to get to this point with Dana saying, because I want people, because Dana, I know people are going to take it, they're going to take it and they're going to take it another way. Now, when you're saying you're getting tired of reparations talk, no, let me just so everybody can understand. You're not saying that you're against reparations because you are a supporter of reparations. Am I correct?
Yeah, but let me just get this straight. Let me just do this PSA because Game of Thrones, House of Dragons is about to come on, honey. I'm not.
Oh, okay. Now, I watch House of Dragons too, so I'm gonna watch it after the space. But go ahead.
Yeah, but no. But my thing is, I'm not sitting up here going back and forth with anybody because you upset with what I said or what you think I said, or you think that I should be saying this or doing this. I don't play that game. I'm sorry. And that's what I'm saying. That's the difference between me and everybody else. I don't get in my feelings like that. So again, I'm always pro reparations. So when I said that beating it against the wall, and people don't listen, everybody listening sound bites today. I mean, you're beating it against the wall with the reparations talking about what we need, and we know we need it. You're not talking about actionary steps. And I did say, so let me say it again, that conversation was not for people in organizations. That conversation was for everybody else who's not doing anything, who's not financially contributing to any organization. Period.
And let me ask you this real quick, and I'm gonna go to Art because I hear people saying, well, you know, Judge Joe Brown, he's not for reparations, he's against reparations. Is Judge Joe Brown, have you ever heard Judge Joe Brown say that he is against reparations?
No, he's not against reparations. He know he gonna get a check.
Okay, that's I just.
And he knows we're owed one. So no, he's not against reparations. And that's why I said people listen in sound bites. People listen in sound bites.
Okay, I just wanted to ask that question. Y'all hold on 1 second. I'm going to close this out, come right back. Nobody say anything. And that way I can go ahead and get the third co-host up here. So give me 1 second, guys, and I'll be right back. Give me 1 second, everybody. For those listening on YouTube, I just had to close this out for a second because of Twitter, the way it is. So I can go ahead and bring the third co-host back up on here as well too. Give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, and we should go ahead and okay, can you guys hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you good, bro. Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me go ahead and get Art up here. And then we'll go ahead and we'll move it around as well too. So I just want to go ahead and we're not gonna have a long space, but I do want people, because I know in the space before, I believe that Dana said she had an open mic and not many people came up to express how they felt. So tonight we're giving everybody a chance to come up here, talk respectfully, how you feel about that space or whatever. You know, if you agreed with it, disagreed with it, what issues you may have had, what issues you think could be corrected or whatever. So definitely you can come up here tonight. You can share what you feel about the space or whatever, what you think needs to be done in terms of the reparation movement as well too. So feel free to come on up here, guys.
Let me just say one thing real quick, Newstoter. I wanted the people that was in that space on Saturday to pull up that had a whole bunch of stuff to say. That's number one. Number two, I'm not here to hear anybody grievances or what they did not like about my space. I don't care. I don't care. Now, if the conversation is going to say, call to action, let's have that conversation. I mean, yeah, but people can come up and they can say what they want, but don't expect for me to coddle you. Don't expect for me to give you an explanation. I had a 6-hour space. So if you walked away with an attitude, you walked away with your feelings, that's not my problem. But go ahead.
Okay. Well, let me go ahead and get to Art. Art, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah. Honestly, I actually enjoyed being in space. I like having the rebuttal and the pushback against the reparations as opposed to for the reparations, regardless of how you might feel about it. I think we need to have more of those, honestly, because we're trying to push this reparations under some situation which is clearly going to have strict scrutiny. A lot of people bring that up in conversation on this app, but then they get mad when they get any kind of scrutiny in regards to that. And so I kind of agree, and I want to say this, when Judge Joe Brown said nobody owes you anything, that's like an adage that everybody says. Like my dad said that to me when I was growing up. So like, that's like, I know everybody had at least one person they knew in their life that gave them that talk. And so like, and that Negro, I get it, but nobody's giving you anything. I think that should be the thing what I want to correct. Nobody's just going to give you anything. That's a reality. That's like sort of a reality check that I think a lot of people need to hear, especially because I have the same problem with in any context when you're asking your oppressor for your liberation. If you think your oppressor is just going to give you your liberation, I have a bridge to sell you. It's just the reality of it. And then I want to talk about in actual context of what that could mean, because I don't want to put words into Judge Joe Brown's mouth. But Special Field Order 15, right? The historical context of that is that it was not an official act by Congress or the president. It was a rescinded order. It has no legal standing for any kind of enforcement mechanism today. Like, there's nothing proven that there's even a legal liability because slavery was legal. And then on top of that, you have the statute of limitations, and then you have sovereign immunity. These are all terms that people should like look up when you're having this conversation about Special Field Order 15. And I've talked to lawyers, so you can have that conversation with them. Not me, I'm not a lawyer. So I'm just saying these are just things that I've heard from lawyers that should be addressed. And thinking that you're just going to bypass these things and sort of force the issue, you and what army? The United States has a big army. I hate to be that dude, but that's the reality. And that's where me and Joe Brown definitely agree, is that if you're not willing to fucking pick up arms and express power, what you're doing is asking your oppressor.
Hey, Art, don't drop any F-bombs, but go ahead.
Okay, fair enough. So at the end result here is that you got one or two ways to do this. You can handle the situation because Mike is right? So that's what Joe Brown always says. Or you can sit there and ask your oppressor for your liberation and pray they give it to you based on rules that they set up and hope they enforce it. But I will remind everybody, and I'll land here, they didn't even enforce the Enforcement Acts. That's what you can Google that. That's what they're called. And they didn't even enforce that. And I'll land it.
All right. Thank you. Art. Let me go ahead and let me get the professor. Let me get to the professor, and then when we get to let it be known, and then I'm gonna get to you again to you that Negro. Professor, go ahead. And DJ, I sent you the co-host invite, so I don't know if you see it or not, but go ahead, Professor.
Yes, good evening, everybody. Newstoter, once again, great space. Dana, Sister Dana with the data. Always good to see you, sister. As you know, I come in your spaces, and I was in that space that night. I was one of those, and I even came up there and spoke. But now I'm going to be honest with y'all. Judge Joe Brown, I really don't have a problem with what he says, because he'll tell you, what are you going to do about it? You know, he always says that, right? So that's the issue, folks. We do need to do something about it, because what Art just said is very 100 on point. Your oppressor is not going to give it to you, right? So that means you got to do something about it, which is what Judge Joe Brown always asks. What are you going to do about it? So that's how I look at that when it comes to Judge Joe Brown. We're going to have to go after this. We're going to have to come up with solutions. We can't go up to the so-called oppressor and ask these questions, right? Hey, you think you can give me my reparations? Because they sure not going to do it. They're not going to do it. They're not trying to do that. Now, Judge Joe Brown, to me, is not the issue that was in that space anyway. It was the other person, and I have brought that attention to some folks, is that, what's that person's name, Dana? Cream Mott. Yes. That's the person that, if you had to say anything about anybody in Dana's spaces, it's going to be that person, not Judge Joe Brown. It's the one named Cream Mott. You should listen to that person in Dana spaces. Then you will get triggered and you be ready to pick up a sword. But I'm going to land right there.
All right, thank you, Professor. Let me go ahead and get it to let it be known that, and then we're gonna work our way back to you, that Negro.
Hi, she's Squirrel Papa Mom. Good evening. Hey Dana with the data. Unfortunately, I didn't get to your space. I get your feels when you say quote unquote tired of reparations conversation, expressing frustration with what might feel like circular conversations, but we have to remind ourselves that there are new people flowing through these spaces every day, and it's actually important that we continue to have these general conversations about reparations and what we need. There's 50 million of us, and 90%, I would say, have not heard this conversation. And what I've noticed over the past 5 years is that people tend to be involved in these conversations for as long as they can stand it, and then they become activated and they kind of fade off of the app. So never fear. Call to action rooms are tricky because, everything should not necessarily be done in the broad daylight. But yeah, I think Twitter is a great place to actually amplify calls to action. Judge Joe Brown is Judge Joe Brown. I've had several accounts, and as I said, it's been a couple of years, and he's blocked me in the past. But yeah, I'm not really going to speak on Judge Joe Brown, other than I understand also that, go get it yourself, do it yourself, self-reliance, bootstrapperism, and where we need to be right now is a hybrid of that. I don't think grievance, taking our, exercising our First Amendment rights, and, voicing our grievance to our government is begging our oppressors. That's insulting. And that sounds like, people who don't have a pathway tend to speak like that. So I tend to ignore that. Because for me, that tends to come from a place of frustration and people who aren't plugged in, people who are actually working in the background. So I think people should take those type of comments. And Judge Joe Brown as well. He is clearly not a reparationist and not plugged in with people and doing that kind of work. The problem that people would have with Judge Joe Brown is that he is a judge. Like, where's the fucking lawsuit? judge. You know,
Hey, let it be known.
Oh,
Yeah. Hold on, real quick. Let the entire space know. Nobody comes up here dropping F-bombs, guys. But go ahead.
yeah, that was gauche of me. Forgive me. But yeah, so there's a frustration, you know, the boomer, boule, you know, that kind of frustration with our elders who have skill sets that could be useful, but, you know, mostly he spends his time finger wagging. So that gets a little challenging. But, you know, we respect him for what he's accomplished, but he's a little off color. But, you know, isn't he in his 70s? But anyway, that's what I have to say. That's my thoughts on Judge Joe Brown. I understand where Dane is coming from. But we all have to put our big boy pants on. I think is what we're all saying. You know, have a plan. Have a plan for your legacy. Have a plan to get involved. And that is the best that we can do. But I think there are brighter days ahead. I think we're winning. Thank you. Thank you for the space.
Well, let me say something.
Hold on real quick before you say something, Dane. Hold on real quick. Hey, Professor, don't let Mimi come up here. But go ahead, Dana.
Yeah, he doesn't. First of all, he doesn't wag his finger at anybody, and this is what I'm talking about with people who, again, because you don't like what somebody says, because this person is not 100%, share your ideology. No, he's not a reparationist, meaning that he's out there fighting for reparations. He doesn't have to. And FYI, he's not boule.
But there's no reason.
Well, let me
back.
Hold on. Let her talk real quick. Let her talk real quick. Hold on real quick. Let her finish talking. Let Dana finish talking, then you can go ahead.
So, no, he's not a reparationist, and he's not boule. Boule is someone who is in government, a government official. He was never that. So we talk about the black boule. That's a black person who is a statesman, politician. So if we're gonna call names or identify someone, understand the term, but don't sit in. So this is my frustration. Everyone is entitled to their opinions, to their perspective. That doesn't mean it's based in fact. But what you or anybody else is not going to do, you're not going to put a projection on him and say, well, he's this. You don't know him. You're never in the spaces. And FYI, he doesn't block anybody. He doesn't know you. So,
I said nothing about blocking.
Did you say he blocked you from a while back?
I'm just speaking of my personal experience, and yes,
you said he
has blocked me in the past. I've been on Twitter for 5 years.
He doesn't know you to block him or to unblock.
Okay, we can only have one person speak at a time. So when Dana finishes, let it be known, or Don, we'll get back to you. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna let one person speak. We're not gonna cut the person off, and then that person can come up that wants to rebuttal it or whatever, they can come on up here, but we're gonna have one person speak at one time. Dana, go ahead. I'm gonna give you 50 seconds, and then we'll let Don come up here and speak.
Well, I don't want to time because you actually invited me to come up here.
Well, I mean, I'm saying that. Well, we're gonna have it where you can actually, somebody else can actually speak, and y'all can have a back and forth.
But this is what I'm saying. If I'm talking, then don't.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't want anybody interrupting anybody. So let the person speak, and then the other person can come up here and say something.
Because then it does delay the time and it just throws it off. But this is what I do on X when people want to have the conversation about the judge. He's not going to hop in people's different spaces that talk about him, because everybody talks about him. People talk about him outside social media. He does not care. But what you are not going to do, you're not going to sit up here and then label him with something that's not a fact. Now, if you disagree with what this man said, that's fine. And that's the only thing you could do. Again, he is retired. When he was your age and in his 30s and in his 20s, he was outside doing a whole lot of things. And that's before he even got on TV. So a lot of people don't know the extent of his resume prior to Hollywood. And because you don't know that, they just know of him as a judge on TV. And that's fine to a certain degree. So when I correct you on who he is and what he may stand for, that's what it is. Because I know that's family. And I'm not going to have anybody try to project a false narrative of his character. But you can disagree with him. But you're not going to paint a false narrative of who that individual is.
Okay, Don, you can go ahead and you can speak now.
Okay, first I want to reiterate that, I had no way meant to convey any disrespect for the judge, but it's clear that this is a highly emotionally charged situation, and I am not as emotionally invested as Miss Dana is. So I want to make that point clear. I have had interactions with the judge in the past, and I am familiar with his civil rights repertoire, and he is a finger wagger, and that's my opinion, and I'm entitled to it. When I say boule, I don't know what definition I mean Jack and Jill, educated Negro. Judge is a higher upper echelon in the black community. I don't know who says anything different, and that's not necessarily an accusation or castigation of his character. I think you're way too defensive, and that's fine. You love him, your family, and I respect that. But I just said what I said, and I'll just leave it at that. And everybody have a good night.
You can say what you want to say, but it's not a fact.
I know, Dana, it's fine.
So the fact, no, it's not fine.
Nobody has a problem with him. You don't have to respond to everything.
I can respond. Yeah, I can. Because personally, and my to respond to people. So, no, I'm fine.
Good night.
Nobody is not hyper. So stop sitting up here acting like you had all these encounters with this man or whatever. Wagging a finger, that is your opinion. That is not fact.
All right. Let me go ahead and get to that Negro. That Negro, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yes, sir. Newstoter, hey, brother, I appreciate you. And I just hope that I can really get out what I'm about to say, because I might have misunderstood. I thought this was an open pass for anyone with qualms with Judge Joe Brown. And so that's what
it is. It's an open mic. Like I say, you can come up here. Anybody can say what they want to respectfully. Dana's up here too now. She's going to go ahead and give her opinion on it. But yeah, but that's why I say everybody let one person speak at a time, and then we'll go ahead and we'll get to the other person. But go ahead.
Yes, sir. And all I'm asking for is the same respect that you gave her. That's it. And just to be able to get my thought out. So thank you. So I went to their spaces. Judge Joe Brown, I went for about 2 months straight. I went 3 times. I put the scholarship that is up in the Jumbotron, as you can see. I put that up there. Judge Joe Brown and I had, the first time I did it, we had a full-on conversation. He inboxed me. We talked back and forth about Special Field Orders 15 and our direction from the Negro Collective. He really seemed to be picking up what I was putting down. The scholarship, you can't deny the Negro scholarship. You can't. It is source cited from the Library of Congress. You cannot take anything. Nobody, not you, Newstoter, but nobody can take anything away from this scholarship. I don't give a darn. I didn't cuss, Newstoter. I don't give a darn if you are a judge or not, period. What we have are facts. And what Special Field Orders is a treasonous, dissolved action that was given to us in a wartime order. Art, bro, you know what? I hear you. I've appreciated many things you have done, but no, we are owed this, and that's what we are coming from. I can't really trust someone that I have asked for an email on some responsive, respectable stuff, and you've never even sent me an email to conversate. So really, your word doesn't mean much to me at all in reality. So that's just between me and you. As far as Dana goes, like, this is a problem when he sits up there and disparages our claim as Black American Negro freedmen, and he says we are not owed anything, whether it's a figure of speech or not. That is disparaging to our people. And that is disparaging to our ancestors who did all this, who bled for this country, who died for our futures. So for anyone, I don't give a damn, I don't give a darn if they are judges. I don't give a darn if they're presidents. I don't give a darn if they are the police. I really don't care who it is. If you are going against our movement or our petitions or our struggles, I don't care how much you have to sit here and listen to reparations. That's what we're doing. We are coming to get our check. So you're going to hear about this from every mountain, from every corner. Judge Joe Brown is going to get the smoke. Why? Because he's acting like an older instead of an elder that has so much knowledge and can be lacing our boots with that knowledge instead of the ignorance that European supremacy has force-fed us for 400 plus years, y'all. So I will not sit here and listen to disgusting. I'll never go to your space again, Dana. I'll never listen to Judge Joe Brown. That voice that I used to hear as a teenager, sitting in my Aunt Tammy, and my Uncle Ken's house with my grandma that's about to be 104, Brunel Mason, sitting there watching them cook and listening to Judge Joe Brown. I respected him for that one reason alone. And what I'm here on this stage to say is that any young person younger than me that looks like me or has 4 foundational grandparents, Black American Negro freedmen grandparents, do not listen to Judge Joe Brown or anyone that sounds like him. Why? Because that is the raccoonery we are running away from. And I'll yield right there.
Now, I got to let Dana respond to that. I got to let Dana respond, but go ahead, Dana.
Yeah, you need to mute up because your phone is that bro. You need to press the mute button.
Hey, that Negro, go ahead and mute your mic.
I have one hand. Hold on.
Damn. Right there in that hand.
Oh, okay, Mount.
The finger.
Okay, Mount.
Thank
Hold
you.
on. Hold your horses.
All right. So 3 things. 1 comment and 2 questions. So the question, what disparaging thing has he said about reparations?
That we are not owed anything, ma'am.
He never said that.
Ma'am, it's in your 6-hour recorded space.
Yeah,
That's why I flushed.
What I want you to do, and I said it, and I think I'm gonna keep saying it while I'm up here, that people listen to sound bites. He never said that. When he can you please mute the Obama phone? When he says that you ain't going to get it or whatever, that you may not like what he says about reparations. No, he doesn't. He says, I'm sorry.
Hold on, that Negro. Hold on. Hold on, that Negro.
He gives a reason why, and you only listen in sound bites. He said that, how are you going to do it? And that is my second question. How are you going to get it? He says you're not going to get it because you don't know how to get it. You are talking about the special bills order, yada, 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 and that's fine. But what he also said was the president that came into power got rid of it. And that is what people do, whether you're a president or Congress. They create policies and then they get rid of policies or they don't honor policies. That's happened throughout our history. So you're focused on a particular policy, right, which is factual, but you're trying to hold our government up to that policy. Yeah, you can, but when he asks you how you're going to do it, you don't have the answer. And why does he have to lace, quote unquote, lace you or anybody else with knowledge? What are you, specifically, what are you going to do with that knowledge? Somebody can sit up here, they can tell you everything, but you ain't going to do nothing with it. He is not on X Space giving you a blueprint or something where you're not organized. And even when I say call to action, which is why
can I answer your question?
Can you shut up?
Let her finish that, Negro. Go ahead, Dana.
That 6-hour space, I continually said that you do need to have action. But that space was not for organizations that are actually doing the action. And I also said, I'm not going to name the organizations, the grassroots organizations that are actually doing, because you don't talk about specifics on social media. And he even said the same thing. But the general basis of that conversation was for people like you or anybody else to have a discussion with the judge, to ask some questions. People asked some questions. He answered it in fact-based, especially it had to do with the law, the Constitution, and prior policies. When he answered your questions with knowledge, when he was lacing people with knowledge, you didn't accept it. You kept pushing back. Nobody is not here to give you anything. And he said this. Nobody's not going to give you nothing. It is your job to take it. And that is the difference for his generation and I would say mine and younger. I'm Gen X. You're not going to get it unless you are willing to get up there and take it. That is how this country works. Nobody don't give anybody anything. The way to get it will have to be through public policy legislation via Congress or on the state level. And you don't even have to bear arms to get it. It's a stroke of a pen. They could take it away with a stroke of a pen and paper, and you could get it with a stroke of a pen and paper. But you got to know how to do it. And majority of Black Americans, which is what I said on my space, don't know how to do it, but you know how to complain. And that doesn't sit well with people. I'm going to mute up.
All right, that Negro, because we got to get to other speakers. I'm going to give you a minute or so, and then we got to go to because we got a bunch of other hands up as well, too. Got people that haven't had a chance to speak yet.
Yes, sir. And it'll be quicker than that because Dana with data be discombobulated. So what I'm saying is, very simply, all of our receipts from the American Negro Collective are in the Jumbotron. I'm not going to sit here and relay and repeat myself a million times. In fact, I said exactly what I wanted to say to both y'all in my last submission. So my receipts are in the Jumbotron. Take out the earwax and open your eyes, ma'am. How you?
What do you want to do with it? You have the receipts, so now what do you want to do with it?
I'm done.
I know you're done.
All right.
You always get crickets when I say, well, then what do you want to do? If you have the information, what do you want to do with it? I could name several people that have the same information like you and more, and they're actually doing something. So when I ask the question, what do you want to do? You yield. Crickets. That's why you get the finger. That's why people in general get the finger from me, where I don't give a F, because you ain't going to do nothing.
All right.
And you get mad.
Let me go ahead and get to a new speaker. Original. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, greetings, Newstoter. I just want to make a comment, and I don't care who I offend. I will make whatever statement I want to make, and I don't care who don't like it. So that's that. But you know, Newstoter, I saw this, and when I saw it, Newstoter, I was like, this looks like a special.
Original, we done lost you in the Matrix. Can you hear us, Original? Yeah, you in the Matrix. I can hear you now.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, well, let me start off there. I will make whatever comment I want to make. I don't care who don't like it. That ain't my problem. That's yours. But when I saw this Newstoter, I looked at it and I said, this looked like some perception management, coattail agent stuff. Because we talk about these Democratic shields, but the Republican shields are just as bad. They are looking to be accepted by the white people who they promote. Because some of them go out here, they have spaces about hashtag vote Trump and this, that, and whatever, and they let you know exactly who they are. And that's what I saw this space as, that the space that they had on reparation, it was the perception management COINTELPRO agent stuff. And yes, I'm calling both of them agents, and I don't care who don't like it. You know, and Joe is always telling young brothers they need some manhood training. Well, I would like to know what manhood training did, what manhood training caused them to want to throw a wrench in something that someone is talking. I don't care what kind of education he has. I mean, he has this attitude as if he's always right, and he's not. I don't care what kind of research he does. You know, and that's the thing, because here's the issue, Newstoter. Nobody said anything. Nobody said anything with the Indians, the Japanese, and the Jews got reparations. And America didn't do anything to the Jews. But they won't talk about that because they know the hammer will come down on them. But yet, everybody want to come and say something about what black folks are doing, as if they have the right to do whatever. But I want them to have that same condition when it comes to Jews and other folks getting what they're getting. But see, they always have crickets. They don't want to say anything. And so, you know, this is just, to me, is below degenerate and below stupid. That's just what I think about it. And the people that put it out there. Because what they want is, they put that, in my opinion, they put that heading up there to try to invoke your emotions to get you to come in and go, yeah. That's why I didn't participate. Because I saw it for the below stupidity, what it was. And I don't care who don't like what I said. Yeah, I said it, and I say it again. Because you got these perception management COINTELPRO agents running around the black community trying to manipulate people into doing what they have been instructed to have them to do. That is what is going on here. And I just want people to understand that don't get distracted by degenerate people doing degenerate things, because they're going to continue to be degenerate and do degenerate things. And I don't care who don't like what I said. Yeah, I said it, and I said it again. I want you to watch these folks, because you're going to start seeing them again holding space and talking about hashtag vote Trump. That lets you know exactly what their minds are, because they're not advocating for black people. They want to make you believe that they are pushing you to do more than what you're doing. Because, and let me say this, people don't have to be a part of an organization to get out and fight for reparation or have an opinion on reparation. I mean, who said a degenerate can make that statement, a below stupid degenerate can make that statement, and that people got to abide by what they say? I would do what I want to do. And I don't care who don't like it. So people just understand. Don't go out here listening to the below stupid degenerate people putting out their talking points they probably got from the degenerate Republican Party, because that's what they are behind, you know. And so just do your own thing, and don't be concerned about these degenerate people. But I'm telling you, nobody will dictate to me on how I should interact in the black community. See, when I got, as I said before, Newstoter, when I got involved with the campaign against KABC, I didn't need somebody to tell me what I needed to do, and I'll put that postcard that I made up in the chat again. I went to a meeting and I saw what was happening. I raised my hand and told them what I would do for them, and we had quite success with that. I don't need to be a part of an organization and people don't let some degenerate tell you that, because what they're trying to do is I keep telling people they are working for the opposition to try to make you think that they're so smart and they know anything. They do research. Oh hell, a lot of people do research, and so I'm like, they're not gonna pull that stupidity on me. Now, if they want to be stuck in the below stupid mode, That's on them. Because it has nothing to do with me. I don't care who I offended. I'll offend anybody I want to. And dare you to try to whip me. Because you know what happened then. But I'm going to land you, so I'm really kind of pissed off right now that degenerate people want to try to dictate what black people should do. And black people don't let anybody make you think that you got to be a part of an organization in order to do something in the black community. Only a degenerate perception management, COINTELPRO agent would tell you something like that, and I'll land.
Okay, real quick, I want to say something. Dan, I'm going to let you say something. Hold on, real quick, I want to say something. Judge Joe Brown is not an agent. I just want to say that. The judge is not an agent. There's some things politically that the judge says that I do not agree with. I'm just saying, from my perspective, my opinion, everybody has their perspective. Everybody has their opinion. From my perspective and from my opinion, he's not an agent. He says some stuff that I don't agree with politically. He says some stuff that I do agree with politically. In terms of the reparations, I think that the judge is not against reparations, but I don't think, and I don't know this for a fact because he's not here to say, but I don't believe he thinks that black people are going to get reparations, at least in his lifetime, which is okay, which is fine with me. There are a lot of black people I know that's 65 and up that believe that black people should get reparations, but a lot of them don't believe that they'll see it in their lifetime or that black people are going to get it. They're not opposed to it. And if somebody asks them, say, hey, you think black people should get reparations? They'll say, yeah, I think black people should get reparations, but they don't think that black people are going to receive it. So the judge is not an agent. He's not a degenerate. You know, Dana's not an agent. She's not a degenerate either. I'm saying that. Everybody I know, y'all might say, oh, F you Newstoter. Hey, that's fine. You know me. I say F you back as well, too. So it ain't nothing. So we cool up in here, but I'm just letting you know, this is my personal opinion. I don't believe either one of them. I've spoken to Dana. I know Dana is about reparations now. Maybe you might not like the way she goes about it. Maybe you think that she's talking down or whatever. And that's your opinion. That's why we got this space tonight, so we can have a nice, intelligent debate. You know, nothing against it, but that's my personal opinion. I saw some of the text that some of the not text, but some of the actual messages that Judge Joe Brown was talking about, and he was talking about building wealth while not depending solely on reparations. I have no problem with anybody building wealth, you know, but building wealth to me still isn't replacing reparations. Reparations is something that's old. And I do believe that we do need to go ahead, especially us older, some of us brothers in our 40s. It would be good for us that once we learn to actually create wealth, like he was saying, to go ahead and teach the younger generations that as well, too. So I have no issue with us creating wealth, anything else like that, and passing it down, teaching, you know, taking the role of big brothers and all that other stuff. I'm cool with that, but I still will always feel in my heart, based off of the other groups in this country, and I know for a fact that if what happened to black people in this country happened to the Irish or happened to the Italians or any white ethnic group in this country, they would already got reparations. They would already got reparations, and there would be no stink about it. In fact, they would have got reparations. They'd be a protective class, and if you spit in the wrong direction towards them, they be finding ways to go ahead and penalize you. So that's my personal opinion about it. I'm gonna we give it an open mic. We letting people come up here and express what they want to, but I'm just saying personally, from me speaking to Judge Joe Brown and knowing his stances, you know, I don't agree politically on 100%. I don't agree politically on 100% with nobody says. I don't care if you're independent, a Republican, a Democrat. My parents, I didn't agree with 100% what they said. So I don't agree with 100% what anybody says. I'm just being real with you. But I do, like I said, I respect, you know, what he has done in the community. And like I say, I believe personally, you know, that reparations are something that's old and that we have to keep pushing forward as well, too. You know, and whatever anybody feels, whether they're young or older, whatever, that's them. Personally, I believe it. I believe he supports it. I just believe that in his mind, he doesn't think that black people are going to see it, because I've talked to a number of baby boomers, and they say, yeah, hell yeah, absolutely, black people deserve it. And I asked them, well, do you think they're going to get it? No, we ain't going to get it. These white folks ain't going to get it. I think that's the mindset of a lot of older people, baby boomers, and even the ones you have left from the World War II generation as well, too. So let me go ahead. I'm going to let Dana go ahead and respond to that. Dana, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yeah, this is just a quick response. Well, number one, in that long 6-hour space, he did say that Jewish people should not have gotten reparations from the United States. The United States should not have paid the Jewish people. He said it because I said that I have a problem that they got it, because we need to look at, okay, what they do to get it. They know how to work the political process, and they put their money together, and they're organized. But the judge did say that the United States should not have given Jewish people reparations. So he's not scared to say anything. And just to let you know, Mr. Original or anybody else, y'all gonna get more upset who say, oh, we coming after all you Democratic plantation Negroes, the mammies, the handkerchief Negroes, the Negroes, all y'all that love Joe Biden, and all y'all that love Democrats, honey. That's what this space gonna be about this Tuesday, and y'all gonna be more upset.
Y'all right wing coons, so why?
Oh, I'm sorry. Somebody got off their mic. I don't know.
Hey, who was that talking? Who was that talking?
No idea.
Who was that talking? Whoever's talking, please go ahead and mute your mic. Please go ahead and mute your mic.
So that's going to be this week, Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you don't want to come up and speak, because it's still going to be open mic where you can talk about anything or whatever, please listen in the peanut gallery like people do, and you probably want to be listening anonymously, you know, because you want to come up here, blah, 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 blah. I'm not listening no more, but that Negro going to be listening. He's going to be in the space, and he may even request to come up and speak on Tuesday. So y'all going to get more upset this upcoming Tuesday. Just a little FYI.
Keep my name out your mouth.
Okay, everybody, I don't know why we're having a hard time staying on that microphone, but let's go ahead and do that. Let's stay on the mic. DJ, I need you to accept that co-host invite if you can.
That thing is sharp, bro. You have to all on your phone to get it back.
I already did that all in one.
So it's over with. Go ahead.
Okay, so let me go ahead and get to the let me go ahead and let me get to the new speakers too. I want to go ahead and let me drop let me bring on I want to get to Amelia, Brooklyn, Val, and Love I Am, since they all new speakers as well. Amelia, go ahead and unmute your mic. You there?
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, it sounds like you driving, sweetie.
Yeah, I'm so sorry if you can't hear me. Yeah, I'm driving. Hey, Newstoter. Hey, Professor. Hey, everyone else in the space. Hope all is well. Yeah, I'll be really quick. This is why I blocked Dana and why I could care less about her struggling YouTube content creator persona that she has. You know, I know you get along with them, Newstoter, that's fine. But for her not to have real pushback to the judge when he say these things, for her to actually, you know, be so petty and condescending and finger wagging. And he does, sidebar, yes, Dana, the judge does finger wag. He does look down a lot. And that is part of the boule persona. And he is a boule. I don't know what kind of definition you have as a boule, but if we're going by your definition, you said that the boule is a policymaker. What do you mean he's not a policymaker? He's a judge. He influences policy to the highest nth degree. And for you to have all this smoke and all this negativity and frankly all this masculine energy to reparations, just stop using lineage-based reparations as an engagement marker. Stop using it to get your numbers up. We know your podcast is on the struggle bus. I can't stand your voice. I can't stand your logic. And I really, if that's the case, if Judge is all this high and mighty and you pray to him, he's got to be number one paying your ass. Oh, sorry, Newstoter. He's got to number one be paying you. And number two, for you to have, like I said, no pushback, for you to, you know, be so condescending and so rude again to people who are about that life, who are about lineage-based reparations. Stop talking about it, because obviously he has no receipts on doing it. He's been in law for how many years? You ain't trying to push no for HR 40. You ain't trying to you know concede to it or contest to it, excuse me, and try to do like cash and rent. Where's his receipts regarding reparations? It ain't none. And if it ain't none, keep it out your mouth, because you're using it as an engagement marker and you have a disgusting persona. All right, thank you, Newstoter. Have a good day.
All righty.
I want to reply to that. I'm trying to. It is a question of which YouTube channel is struggling that you saying that's struggling. The real Judge Joe Brown YouTube that I streamed the Twitter space from, or the real Dana YouTube?
Yours, boo-boo. Yours. You're on the
Oh,
struggle
the
bus.
real Dana. Oh, okay, the one that you can mute up now. So the one that has 100K. Okay, yeah, I guess that is struggling. But thank you for listening. Whether you subscribe or not, you make it your business to come in and listen to know that my voice is irritating. So I appreciate that. And you got access. Stay on your mic. Stay on your mic. Stay on your mic, Amita. And actually, you can actually hit that thumbs down because that's still going to give me that engagement in the audience.
Come on, can this be equal, Newstoter?
Hey, hold on. Now that Negro, you spoken. Okay, whenever you had a back and forth with Dana, I'll let you go ahead and speak to her. Don't do that, bro. We people and everything. Don't do that. She's her and Amia having a conversation right now. Don't come in and then cut it off like that. Y'all, I mean, come on, y'all. Y'all, when you and her, y'all had several back and forths. Her and Original had a back and forth, and we sat there and we listened. Right now, you got two women. This is the first time we had two women in the space actually speak. Let's not do that. Let's not do that, because I did not interrupt. I let her speak. I let you speak. I told everybody to stay on their mic and let the other person finish up speaking as well too. Let's not do that. Let's not interrupt. And then because somebody's saying something we don't want to hit, and we got to go ahead and we got to interrupt the conversation. Let's not do that, y'all. And we're not going to do that.
I'm saying be fair, brother.
She is me. Hold on. Wait, hold on, Dana. Hold on. Let me. How am I not being fair? How am I not being fair?
Brother, because what's good for the goose got to be good for the
Amia just spoke and said something. Dana's responding. Is that not fair?
Okay, I'm just asking. Please be fair. That's it.
How is that not? But tell me, okay, I'm trying to get this. I'm trying to understand. How am I not being fair?
Because Dana is being able to come off her mic whenever
Dana didn't come off her mic one time when Amia was speaking. She didn't.
Okay, all right now.
And honestly, I forgot who was speaking now. Okay, y'all. Let's not with the personal insults and all the cursing.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm in. See, I think because it's Sunday and I'm laid back, and I intentionally said to myself, I'm gonna come up here and I'm gonna just have people expose themselves because there's gonna be people in their emotions. There's gonna be people that's probably be a little hostile with the name call or whatever. That's fine. That don't get under my skin because I'll be giving people that work on Saturday. And you was one of the people, I don't know if you was in Shut Up Space 2 weeks, last Saturday, not this past Saturday, but that is why I held that space last week, Tuesday, for 6 hours, because I wanted the Amias to come up. That Negro, he came up, and he was respectful, because he knew what time it was. But if you did not come up last Tuesday, but you got all that, your chest is pumped up to tonight, that's all good, but you're not going to get that type of energy.
And hold on, Dana, because I got to say something to somebody on YouTube now. DL, me and you, we cool or whatever, but I didn't do a disclaimer for Judge Joe Brown or Dana. Somebody called them an agent, and there's no proof that they're agents. So when people start throwing things around like that, unless you got some hardcore proof that you got something that can link somebody to being an agent and stuff like that, because I've said that several times on these spaces before, don't throw allegations out there by people if you don't have anything to back it up. So I don't know anything about Judge Joe Brown being no agent. You don't know anything about Judge Joe Brown being an agent either, because if you did, you post it. I never heard Dana say, I don't know anything about Dana being an agent as well either. Now, if you want to sit up here and also the reparation thing, I've never heard Judge Joe Brown publicly say black people don't deserve reparations. I've never publicly heard Dana say that who said that? And we got another Negro coming off their microphone. We always talk about decorum and all this other stuff, and we got somebody else coming off their microphone as well too. So don't sit up here and talk about I didn't put out a disclaimer. I put out what I know. I don't know anything about Judge Joe Brown. Yeah, a host is supposed to remain neutral. So sitting up here and throwing allegations at somebody that they're an actual agent or something like that. Yeah, you don't sit up there on a platform and let people throw that unless they can go ahead and they can back that up. If they got the paperwork, if they done sourced up. Now, if you done sourced up and you got the paperwork, then you go ahead and you put that out there. But if you don't, let's just not throw allegations at people like that without some hardcore proof. Because I don't know and you don't know either. And you're not remaining neutral either, DL, because you're sitting up here and you've taken one side or whatever. I'm letting whoever want to come up here and speak on this issue, go ahead and speak. I wasn't in that space. I saw the tweets and everything else that people were talking about. So y'all, it's funny. People are only neutral when they take up for your side. That's the problem that a lot of black people got. You neutral when somebody's saying the stuff that you want to hear. And then you're not neutral when you don't do this or do that. That's nonsense. That's foolishness. Now, let me tell everybody up in this goddamn space something. I'm running the show up in here. Don't come off your goddamn mics. Don't sit up here throwing accusations against me or any of the co-hosts either. If y'all want to speak and talk or whatever, that's fine. Sit up here and act like damn grown people and not some damn children. I ain't no goddamn third grade teacher here. I'm not here to hold your hands or to wipe your behinds. Sit up here and act like you grown. You can sit up here and have a conversation, fine. Don't sit up here and lie and say that I'm taking up sides and I'm doing this, I'm doing that, when I'm allowing one person to speak so somebody else can come right behind and speak as well too. The thing of the matter is that y'all don't want to have a neutral damn conversation. You want it to be an echo chamber. You want me to take one side or you want me to take the other side. You don't want the damn co-host to be neutral, right? The host to be neutral right down the middle. Don't sit up here and tell me what I am and not doing. Most of the people in this space know I'm just sitting up here. One person talk. I say, go ahead. You go ahead. Unmute your mic. Mute your mic. Stay on your mic. Don't come off your mic. But y'all can't even do that. Grown people, I bet the average age in this space is damn near 35 to 40 years of age. Don't sit up here. Don't come in here with that nonsense tonight. This ain't one of these backwood ass spaces y'all be going into where everybody's sitting up here cursing each other out and talking down to each other. You ain't gonna talk down to me or my damn co-host up in here. Let's get that through y'all head right now. I don't tap dance and I don't cut a jig for nobody. Now you gonna sit up here and act like you got some goddamn sense up in here.
Newstoter, my apologies for cussing. I'm so sorry, Newstoter, and to your co-host as well. I'm so sorry for cussing.
Let's get this thing back on track. I don't mind a conversation. I don't mind people, and that's what we were supposed to have a conversation tonight. I don't mind people coming up here and expressing how they feel one way or another. What I'm going to do is let you say what you got to say when you're done, because I don't want anybody cutting you off. Then the person that may have an opinion against what you said, they can come and speak. And that's how we flow in this space right here. Like I say, I don't know about all them project ass spaces y'all be going to because I don't go in them. But this is how it's going to be run up in here. And if anybody don't like it, you can haul ass right now. Anybody don't like what I'm saying, they got a problem with it. And that's for the men and that's for the women too, because I don't want you to say, oh my God, Total, he's treating the women so bad up in here. You can ride out too, like we used to say back in the day, if you don't like it. Andrew. Okay, so
I wanted to respond. Finish responding.
All right, go ahead. Love, I think you got to mute your mic. Dane, I'm gonna go to you real quick, and then I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go to Brooklyn. Val, we're gonna move it around.
Yeah, it's going to be quick. So, boule, the term boule goes back to Roman times. That means in a government official. So, black boule, that's what that means. A black person who's in government official, and that is why people have grievances with the black boule. Because when you look at these black politicians, they don't do shit for black people, right? Excuse the S word. But just going back to, and as far as topics being triggering, yes, that is what we do when we're content creators, is to get entertaining topics or topics that will intrigue people, entice people, and of course trigger people. And like I said, y'all gonna be more triggered on Tuesday.
But we're not Democrats though, Dana. You don't even know who you're talking to.
First of all, and this is my last response to you, Amir, because I know we have other speakers. My Space Tuesday is directed to the Democrat Party, number one. 90% of Black Americans are registered Democrats. So, and it goes for, stay on your mic, it goes for the white people too, or whoever is a Democrat. So the Democrats are getting that smoke this Tuesday. And there's going to be a lot of people who's not going to like it. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Soundbite.
All right. Thank you. Let me go ahead. Thank you, Amia. Dana, let me go ahead and get to the next speaker. Let me get to Brooklyn. Brooklyn, go ahead. Is it I think, yeah, Brooklyn, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, shalom, peace to the space. Shalom, Newstoter, shalom, Dana, and everybody else. Just real quick, I was in the space and I heard somebody else come up there and say that the judge disparaged reparations, said that we're not owed reparations. I've never seen that. I've never heard that. I even did a search. I found one tweet where the judge said everything that's owed is not paid. I've been effing with that space for a while now. I go in there, I disagree with the judge all the time, disagree with Dana all the time, but it's always good dialogue. I've never been disrespected. I see every time this subject comes up, people get really, really emotional about it and lose their ability to have a rational conversation. And, somebody's saying that we're owed reparations, but we're not going to get it, so that's not where our focus needs to be. It's very, very different from somebody saying that we're not owed it at all. But we got to have rational conversations on this, or else the shit just stays in Twitter spaces and go in circles all day, all week, all year. Y'all see what time it is. I'm gonna just leave it at that for now.
All right. Appreciate that, Brooklyn. Let me go ahead and get to let me get to Val. Let me give a shout out real quick to Cognitive, Peter, and Brandon for their contributions on Cash App. I'm cool, whatever. Just don't come up in here and don't be throwing accusations and saying I did this and I did that and I'm taking up for this person and all that. We cool with all that other stuff, but don't sit up here saying that when it's not true. Val, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Okay. Shout out to the host. Hi, Newstoter.
What's up, Val?
DJ, Professor. Love to space. I just came up. Hey, Love I Am, and that Negro and everybody else on this in the space. I was just looking at the title of that space, and it says that. Let me go back. What did it say? Maybe Dana wants. You want reparations? Wait for Jehovah to return. So that's the title of the space. Maybe that's the big deal here. And last thing I heard, the Pope said Jesus or Jehovah ain't coming. So maybe what they're saying is that we're not going to get reparations. So I'm just saying, when you make a title to a space and then you want to say, no, that's not what we were talking about. It's kind of confusing to people who weren't in the space. And because that's, Dana, that was the title of your space. Come on, sis. Let's be for real. Yeah, y'all did talk about, you changed it to what other people could do and organizations and this. I was in there, but that's not what the title said. And what we're doing here is there's a lot of people that's working out here, and we're trying to educate public about reparations and why we need them and why we need them, not just want it. You know what I'm saying? And I know Newstoter doesn't want you to be, that's kind of oppy title right there, and I don't agree with it. And it might have been performative. I've seen you in other spaces. I'm not going to judge you on, how you behave in them, but you're older and you should be out here with us trying to teach and not, being performative. I know there's a lot of people to argue with on this app, but yeah, that's all I want to say. But no, your title. Your title. Stay on your mic. Because I'm not finished. I'll let you know. I'll say I land. Okay? Because we got to teach not only
about reparations, we got to keep our history, because they're trying to annihilate us off this planet. Our name is already bad on this planet. We're all criminals according to them. We're all on welfare. We're all this. Okay? So I'm just saying, do better. I'm not going to stay up here long because I know there's other speakers, but I just watch what you're saying and, you know, what you're doing. And I appreciate Judge. We've watched him for years, and I don't know. I don't know. Just kind of chill if you can. Thank you, and I land.
All right, thank you, Val.
No, I will not chill. I'm a content creator, and I did say if you want reparations, if you're waiting for reparations.
Well, your title, lady.
Hold on, Val, hold on. Let her finish. Let her finish. Yeah, but Val, she just let you talk now. Come on. Val, sweetie. Hold on, Val, sweetie. She just let you finish. That's what I'm saying, guys. She just let you finish talking, didn't interrupt. The only time she did, she thought you was finished. So let her go ahead and get hers in, and then you can respond. You can respond when she's done.
Baby, I'm 47. I got 2 kids and I got 4 grandkids. I'm not watching nothing. I'm going to say what I want to say. I know how to say what I want to say, especially when I'm on YouTube, because I do follow those community guidelines if you want to make that money, right, on my struggling channel. But I'm going to say what I want to say, just like everybody coming up here. They say what they want to say. I don't tell people you can't say that. Only thing I do correct people on is when you're trying to say the judge is this type of person. That's defamation of character. That is something that I do not tolerate. Defamation of character on someone, especially when that person is not here to defend themselves. But other than that, I'm gonna keep being performative. I'm gonna keep creating these titles, you know, sensationalized titles, right? Just like everybody else does, because that is what get people to watch things on TV. That is what get people to go into YouTube channels, and that is what get people to go into their X spaces. It's called sensationalism. This is social media. YouTube, we're the new TV. We're content creators. That's just what it is. We're content creators. And to a certain degree, yes, we are journalists. So you may not agree with it, and that's fine. I'm not trying to persuade you. I'm not trying to persuade anybody. So the same way that you can sit up here and state your opinions or whatever, you can actually say, oh, you need to do this. But I'm just going to respond and tell you, no, ma'am, I'm going to do what I want to do because I'm grown and I can. And that is the difference. And I don't get all emotional. Yes, I turn up I turn up in other spaces too. Yes, I do turn up. That's part of me too. Yes. And I love it. That's it. But thank you.
All right, Val, did you want to respond?
Because like I said, we grew up with Judge Joe Brown, respecting him, and I think you're taking that away from him with being performative. I guess it's going to be difficult getting around you because people go in your spaces and for nonsense like what you just promoted, and I don't know, maybe people just I'm just at a loss right now because I don't understand that. I'm a grandmother, a great grandmother too. So yeah, so being a mother in a grandmother in no flex to me is how you behave, and that's more important to me. But I'm gonna let y'all have it. I don't know what to say to her, and I don't want to be disrespectful and the one that tells her how she needs to act or what she needs to say. I don't do that because if I don't like it, I just leave the space anyway. So that's my submission. Thank you.
Thank you, Val. Appreciate you. Let me go ahead and get to Love I Am. Love I Am. I see you've been having some issues staying in the space, but how you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Sound like you was in the Matrix for a second. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Yes. So, not very impassioned. I don't feel very impassioned to speak on this because I don't want to find myself in a perpetual gaslighting. Because the title always call me at the dumbest times. Hey.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good. So yeah, I didn't feel there with that title being as it was. I didn't feel compelled to go in that room. I really don't know what I could get from that room or contribute to the room with the title like that, right? But at the same time, I don't want to hear from the judge on reparation. I really don't. And I know that I have no control over that. So there's really no point in saying that. But I don't think I'm the only one that doesn't want to hear from him. And I don't want to get roped into a perpetual gaslighting just because I state that, right? That's literally, I just don't want to hear him talk about it. I think he does a disservice. I wish he would stop. He's not going to. I don't want to append any motivations and intentions to why he is. I really don't care. And I hope that we call it a whipping. I hope he gets a quick whipping in the spirit for speaking on it and doing us a disservice. Because again, I don't try to control people. You can do whatever you want, just like we can. And so we can admonish, fine. I literally, for the life of me, I don't even know why. Because I feel like I'm not an ageist, but because I actually share the same energy as my elder Val, Miss Val on the stage, who I love dearly, and she must get the same upload that I get because it's just going to be a perpetual gaslighting. It's like it's really no point. Like I almost felt discouraged to speak because I know that Dana has to speak after every person that goes, but it's just like it's so stupid at this point. Stuff is just getting made into such a production. The emails, he's being sent emails because individuals do want to have the discussion. So to say whenever you ask the question about what people are doing and they're not answering it, well, a response to the email could answer. You see what I'm saying? Like it's just gaslighting. It's giving narcissistic. He's too old, in my opinion. If he never organically felt compelled to address the repair in the sense that we are discussing, I'm not saying as he sees fit. I'm saying in the way that we are discussing it, meaning taking action and going after things. So if he never organically felt to do it that way, then I think he needs to back off. But because he won't, and this will be a perpetual gaslighting, I'm just gonna say again that I just hope that he gets whatever consequences quickly for being an impediment, even the dialogue at this point. And that goes for anybody else who tries to do what they're doing and then act like they don't know what they're doing. We really don't want to hear from him on the topic. And again, that's not me saying you can do what you want to do. I just hope that there's just a quick return for the same amount of energy. And I do have the authority to call that forward. So I just hope that happens. Maybe he'll be convicted to stop. Who knows?
All right. Thank you, Love I Am.
I want to respond to Love I Am because I like Love I Am. Because I noticed at one point Love I Am was coming in on Tuesday Spaces, and yes, there was several discourse that you had with the judge. And honestly, for me, I thought it was really good dialogue. He thought it was good dialogue too, but I already knew that you disagree with a lot of things he says. And that's not even the discussion today. Whether you were, the judge is not trying to persuade anybody to agree with him. And that's not really the discussion tonight. because I'm not trying to persuade anybody to agree with him or with me. So, and I reached out to Love I Am on the back end about something totally different. So there are people who don't like him. There are people who disagree with him, and that's fine. I think for me, because I personally know him very well, when people try to defame his character and it's not true, and we actually last year he had to deal with that, and that was made public with the accusation with that woman actress. So that is what I always clear the air up with people. But yeah, and like you said, if you see a title and you're like, I don't feel like being bothered with that, or I don't want to hear that, it sounds silly, it sounds stupid, or whatever, you don't come in and listen. And that's part of having free will. Or you have multiple discourse with him and you realize I don't want to listen to him, or I don't agree with him, and that's fine too. So I don't have an issue with anybody that feels that way, and I don't have an issue with Love I Am. If you disagree with someone, you disagree with them. It's just that, again, when people try to say, well, he's an agent, right? That is somewhat defaming them, or just literally defamation of character. And that's when the line for me crosses because of his status and position in society. That's it.
All right. Thank you. Let me go ahead and get to got a couple new speakers. I want to get to Hazardous, and I want to get to Black Majority State. Hazardous, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, how y'all doing, brother?
Hey, what's up now?
No, man, I can't call it. I'm glad it died down. Love been bringing the love, so everybody calmed down a lot. I appreciate that. So I just want to say a little couple of things. I'm going to try and get in and out as quick as possible. Hit and run. Okay, with the Dana, you spoke of the Democrat thing of Black people being Democrats. We know it's been to our detriment that we do that. But a lot of that, I realized that they did it to me in high school many moons ago. They'll come and have us pre-registered, and so we kind of stick it out, and then we ride that train. They just did it to my daughter, and she just graduated. Right before graduation, they was trying to get them to register. So I put a stop to that. She is definitely not a Democrat, but or registered as one anyway. And so with that being said, yeah, when it comes to the judge, I agree with Love. I don't typically want to hear his opinion on that. Most of our elders, though, they kind of set in their ways, and they like, oh, well, I did it. And, it's kind of baby and bathwater thing. They kind of, and I don't think they intentionally do it. So I look up to the judge in a lot of ways. So I don't think he's doing it with like malice in his heart, but it does come across that way. So when people say like boule, or these are just terms we use to identify things quickly in our culture. Y'all know that. So I don't got to tell y'all that. But, so we might say somebody, and it's like an over-embellishment. So we might say, oh, yeah, you been a boule, or you doing Asian things, and that's just our way to say, man, you kind of moving suspect. So I know it don't feel good when people call you on your stuff, but we family, we going to do that. So we see the movements you're doing, you might not literally be a boule. But the way you moving, it look like that's exactly what you want. It look like you want some some pro tel quo, like it seemed like you want some other stuff. So we got to make sure and call that out. And then we have a way of, the way we are as a people, so we gonna overdo it, But you can't really take like offense to that. I mean, you can refute it as it's been done. You've done it earlier. Brother Newstoter has done it as well. Because you should have evidence. We all about paperwork. That's part of our culture too. Paperwork. What evidence you got to say that somebody is this? Well, us just throwing it out and saying, man, your behavior is suspect. I don't see a problem with that. I'm gonna close with that. But then on top of this, I want to say that I have a personal problem when we sit around and we will say that, like, oh, the reparations, and we don't know about this. I just don't see other people doing this to themselves. It's like self-sabotage. I don't understand the logic of doing it. Dana, and I'm only saying it because you're here and, you're a representation of this. I'm telling you, I got love for you and the judge and stuff, so it's not even like that. But I get using things to be provocative and clickbait, basically. I get it. I understand that you do that. But when you do that, there's people who like, you, and I'm sure we all kind of feel this way. We feel our ancestors been cheated. And so, yeah, we emotional. Like, and I'm a dude, and I'm telling you, like, yeah, so yeah, my feelings is involved. I'm gonna tell you if I'm mad. I'm gonna get out where I'm mad at too. So I might get out in a different way, like some of the brothers who got real aggressive. Just like, man, my ancestors, they took stuff from us. We all can go back for the most part. If you done your lineage, you can go back and see land your people own that they don't own no more. And hell yeah, I'll be pissed off when another black person is sitting there telling me how we ain't gonna get it, wait for Jesus. I know it's a provocative title, sis. I get it. I'm just saying, to us, that's like, well, it's like you saying, F my people. You know, and I know you don't mean it that way, and I know you like monetizing the situation, but then that is part of the boule thing when we throw out those terms, because we'll be like, that's what they do. They do it they capitalize, they win, we lose. And we got to be honest. That's that Al Sharpton and all that. They winning with his time. We losing. You know, and he's monetizing everything with us. When somebody gets shot, you got Trump stepping in and stuff like that. They winning, but we losing. We can't keep doing that. We can't keep smutting ourselves when I just don't know another group who does that. Like, and I just don't know. I don't know Jewish people who be like, oh, well, yeah, you know, because they still get paid for the Holocaust, you know, contrary to popular belief. And I don't see other Jewish people stepping in like, you know what, we shouldn't be getting no damn money. We shouldn't get nothing. We only do that. And we got to stop doing that type of stuff. We got to stop being our worst enemy, man. If you don't got nothing good to say, be quiet. If you don't have nothing positive to say, don't use no. And I'm just saying this, and I know everybody grown because we love to stay. I don't know why we do that. I'm super concerned about that. We keep reinstating. I think that comes from like some slavery stuff. I'm grown. I can do what I want. No shit. Excuse my language, but I didn't mean it. That was slip. But like, we all know you grown. When you start having to tell people you grown, then you really not mentally grown all the way, even though you do grown up things. Because you don't got to tell nobody you grown. It speaks volumes for itself. But you can be critiqued. And this is your community, whether you like us or love us or not. This is your community. And I'm saying it because I got love for you, and they couldn't no one disrespect you in my face and get away with it. Because I'm not going to stand for that. And that goes for any black woman or brother or any of that. I'm not going to stand for that. Because I'm willing to go all the way in. But you should be able to be critiqued and taken on the chin. And I think that's what the sister Val was saying. Is like, if she's telling you it's a problem, if it's multiple people saying, hey, you did this, and we felt aggrieved by it. I mean, humble out and be like, you know what? I know I did it for this, because they don't understand the monetization that you're doing. You're doing it from a business thing. You're doing it from a lineage thing and respect and how we look and how we feel about that. And you know it's emotionally charging to do that to your own folks. You should be questioned for that. You should definitely be questioned if you're doing something to make some money and it makes you money, but it makes us feel disrespected. You should be checked for that. And we check it.
Are you done?
Yes, ma'am.
So,
yes, ma'am. I'm done.
Yeah. So this space is not to check Dana. That's number one. Number two, you and nobody else can check me. Number three, I don't make money off Twitter, aka X. My money does come from YouTube, but we talk about actual stuff. The law, the Constitution, trending topics. So I don't care what you may think of me or what you think I may do. I'm telling you or anybody else, I'm grown, because you're not going to talk to me as if I'm a kid, like I'm going to really listen to what you got to say about what I should and should not do. See, that is the difference between you and I and me and everybody else, or a lot of other people. You're too emotional. Too emotional to the fact that when you're talking about business and reparation, is a business, the business of getting it. You're going to have to remove your emotion and get down to the business. So what? I put a title that had waiting for reparations and wait till Jehovah return or whatever. Because a lot of people are just doing that. Waiting. You don't wait. You go out there and you take it. And the judge has said this multiple times. I don't care if you have a problem with what I say when I go on people's spaces, when I get rowdy or ratchet or what. I don't care, because I'm going to do it. But when I hold my spaces, because the judge is there, it has to flow a certain way. When I go in shut up space, you can come as you are. So if it do get turned up, we get turned up. But there are people who actually come in there and they do spit some knowledge. It is what it is. So when I say I'm grown, that's just what it is. That I'm not going to change who I am. That's why I say I'm grown. Why are you, as a grown person, even as a man, talking about, yeah, you emotional when it comes to what your ancestors went through? We all know what they went through. Now it's time to get down to business. So you can't check me. I'm not taking nothing on the chin. Nobody ain't putting nothing on my chin. That doesn't happen. Now, if you want to come up and state your opinion about a space that I held, whether it's really Judge Joe Brown's space, or state your opinion about reparations as a whole, or state your opinion about your grievances or what the judge may have said or tweeted that you disagree with or agree with, that's fine. But you're not going to come up here and tell me, well, you should turn this down, turn this up. You shouldn't use black and it should all be positive. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I talk about everybody else, whether it's good or bad, positive or negative. And it's not even about positive or negative. So if you need a positive affirmation, that's your problem. That's not mine. I don't need someone to give me a positive affirmation. Everything that specifically Black Americans do, when I do specifically talk about Black Americans, because I don't talk about Black people, that's not all my content. A lot of my listeners, especially on YouTube, they're other than Black. So again, if you need positivity talk, then you need to go to those spaces. Because if I have something to say that may be not positive about what Black Americans are not doing or need to be doing, then I'm going to say that, whether you like it or not. Because it is what it is.
Okay, brother. I'm gonna briefly respond. I promise I ain't gonna go long.
Go ahead. Go real quick, and then we got some hands up. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, brother. I appreciate you. I don't think I came at you in no derogatory. I don't know why you're so amped up, but maybe it's because you feel attacked. But I was just trying to tell you where it come from. I said I understand the monetization of things. I said that, though, and you just purposely being obtuse to certain things. I'm saying you're doing that intentional because you're smarter than that. But I was saying, yeah, as a collective, we'll be emotional about something. That's it. I wasn't saying you. And I didn't attack you one time. You just said I listened to you. I think you missed that, though. But that's all I was saying. I was just trying to. Well, because you're trying to throw little darts in, but I was just saying how the collective may feel, and I know you personally don't mean to do that. So I was just saying, as a collective, that's why people may come at you. I didn't say I was coming at you. I said that's why people may. I was giving you insight, I thought. But you took it as, well, you're emotional and you're a man and, challenge. I mean, I guess that's the go-to, challenge my manhood, but I didn't raise my voice at you or anything. I said sis. I even said yes, ma'am. Like I don't think I came at you in no type of disrespectful way because I'm not going to do that. We're on mindful one until you're a woman.
I didn't think you did.
Okay. Well,
and because I brought up emotion and manhood because you brought it up. So I don't need. And this is what I'm trying to convey to you or anybody else. You don't have to give me insight on what someone may not like on how I may say something or what I may type in my title. You don't have to give me insight on that because I don't care. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. People could not like something. They could not like what someone said or typed or wrote or whatever. That's your right. So just because you don't like it, that don't mean I'm going to switch it up. You just don't like it. I don't care if you don't like it. I'm going to do what I want to do. That's what I'm saying.
Right, I got as much. I don't want to hog it for you interrupting me, but I'm gonna let you go though, because you are yourself. So, but I was just saying that's what I was trying to get. I know you didn't ask for the insight, but I'm listening. I've been listening for like an hour and some change, And I was just trying to bring a little clarity that maybe this could help the room and help each other, so we all kind of be on one accord instead of showing contention. That's really what I'm on family. I look at y'all's family if you come over this way. And that's what I be on. So that's it. But, you're right. You can do what you want to. I mean, obviously, sometimes I felt the same way in life, and I still do. And there's certain times people will tell me, and they could be older, younger, and then I might not see it, but then at some point I'll be like, you know what? Ain't a bunch of people gonna keep telling me the same thing, and I don't even check myself to be like, is it true? Then I'm so arrogant. I'll be like, you can't tell me nothing. I know what I'm doing. Shut up. But that's just me. So, but peace, no love, and that's all I'm talking about. Right now, and reparations.
All right, appreciate that, Hazardous. Let me get to my man, Black Majority State. Hazardous, I'm gonna drop you because we got as people. I'm starting to drop a few people as we have people coming up here. Dr. Umar's burner account. I see you came up here. If you're gonna come up here, raise your hand. If not, then we go ahead and we can put you down because you may have somebody else that wants to come up here and speak as well too. So definitely, if you're gonna come up here, definitely go ahead and raise your hand so we can get to you. But go ahead, Black Majority State.
Okay, man, shout out to the space, host, co-host, everybody in the space, of course. I was in that space. I thought, and part of the reason why I went in this space was because we've done a couple spaces about Trump being this Moshiach and these small hat people really, really believing that he's going to bring forth the Jehovah or Yahweh or whoever they believe God is. So I thought the space might delve into that a little bit, but I was in there and I heard what I heard. It's not the first time that I've kind of got that sense of being in Dana and Judge Joe Brown's space, but at any rate, it sounds almost like this is an intervention of sorts. But the person that you're trying to intervene with keeps saying over and over again, I'm an adult. This is what I'm going to do. You're not going to change my behavior. You're not going to stop it. And then for me as an adult, I say, okay, I accept you for who you are. And then I just do something different. And I understand the purpose of the space, but at the same time, like I'm a grown man. I stand on my 10 toes. I grew up impoverished, and everything I got on my own. So no adult, no person could ever tell me what to do and expect me to actually follow suit in any area of life. So, it's kind of like people talk about boycotting all the time. People talk about voting with your feet, don't spend your money where whatever. And this is a very similar situation. I've blocked a lot of people. I go into some spaces, half the room I got blocked, to be perfectly honest. It is what it is. And so I kind of think it's like, if you are a person who feels like the entertainment / journalism that Dana provides is anti whatever you're into, then it's probably best to avoid her spaces. That's really the simplistic version of what it is. I've donated to Judge Joe Brown's campaign. I would have bought some barbecue sauce, but I don't really eat barbecue sauce like that. I'm on this health kick because I've got high blood pressure and I got to watch what I'm intaking and all of that. But I wish Dana and the judge nothing but success in their life. I think the reason why you would have an intervention is because there's a certain amount of disappointment because of something that you're passionate about, that the other person may or may not agree with you 100% lockstep. But that's the beauty of living in what we call America, where you are supposed to have freedom of speech and freedom of choice and all these freedoms. And I think it's somewhat unfortunate when others may attempt to take away others' freedoms. Because what that does is, no matter what it is, it creates a situation where you're living under someone else's rules and someone else's way of thinking. And the best thing, again, I'll reiterate it, is to kind of separate yourself from people who may or may not agree with you, if that's going to cause you some type of emotional trauma, upset, disappointment, whatever. because it's not going to be healthy for you. They're not going to have any emotions about it. They're not going to have any concern about it. And I've experienced that in my life with different people, and it was always best to just kind of separate myself from that. And then I'm good, and they're good, and we're both good, but we don't have to interact and have conflict because we don't agree on a certain subject. So, great space. I'm listening, I'm driving, I'm working, all of that. But I think it's like sometimes we just got to listen to what the person is saying, absorb that information, and then respond accordingly versus trying to bend somebody and convert somebody to our will or our opinion. And I'll just end on that.
All right. Thank you, Blood.
Much respect to God is, and I actually like you kind of, God is, he's one of the regulars that do come into space on Tuesdays, and we honestly don't get, we don't have large spaces. A lot of people don't come in, because the conversations prior to last week, the 6 hour, like sometimes the spaces may go longer, may get a little hot because it's open mic, but before it was open mic, just things that we would talk about, people aren't interested in talking about those things. It's just that when we talk about reparations, and that is a hot topic, that is a hot button, because people, the people make it a hot topic. That's when you get more eyes on it. And the only reason why we did this space is because of people. A lot of people, I guess, got upset of what he tweeted about reparations. But yeah, and honestly, in Newstoter, we spoke. This space isn't what they call an intervention. This space isn't about me tonight. It's really, like you said, a review of the 6 hour reparation space. And some of the people that actually came up tonight to speak, you didn't even come up to speak on Tuesday, but you got a lot of smoke tonight. And I'm just like, wait a minute. And this is why I do push back, because 6 hours, where were you? Don't come up now. The judge is not even here. You pull up on Tuesdays. Pull up on Tuesdays. And I did say that this past Tuesdays. This is your opportunity to say what you want to say, get it off your chest. Now, the people that did come up, they ain't the ones that I even wanted to come up. But the people that I wanted to come up, they pulling up here. So it's like it's backwards.
We weren't joking when we said we don't want to hear from him. It's insufferable, Dana.
Alrighty.
Not joking.
Alrighty. Let me go ahead and get to the
Wait, let me just say something to that. I get it. And Love I Am, when you don't want to hear from him or anybody else, you just don't come in. So if they don't want to hear from him, why are you complaining? Not you, Love I Am. Wait, listen, let me finish. I'm not talking about you, because you have your remedy. I'm not going to come in and listen when he's in space. So if you're saying they don't want to hear what he has to say, then don't come and listen. But if you do come and listen and you don't want to hear what he says because you disagree, why are you complaining about something? That's a term of, what is it when you keep doing the same thing over and over again? That's like insanity. Like, come on.
All righty. All right. We had some new speakers up here. They all dropped down. So let me go ahead. I'm going to get to that Negro. That Negro, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. So number one, first and foremost, I apologize to you, Newstoter. You know you and I have a damn good rapport. You, DJ, I didn't even, you know what really is going on here is I didn't do my thing. So excuse me, y'all. Salute to Newstoter. Salute to Brother DJ. Peace, power, and American Negro reparations, specifically for the Black American Negro freedmen who built this country with slave labor per the lands promised in Special Field Orders 15, January 16, 1865. Number one, Love I Am. Sister, I love the hell out of you. Brother Hazardous, I have seen you around heard you. Your two voices really kind of calmed my spirit and realized, hey, I don't got to go there. The day he said that, and I switched to my frame of mind. I stopped donating to Dana's platform. I stopped donating to whatever Judge Joe Brown had going on. It's sad. You know what I'm saying? I looked up to that man. But something that I have put my all into, literally, Dana, you cannot be watching the reparations movement, because if you haven't heard about Dat Negro or Val, Elder Val, or Love I Am, or Original Blood, Blood Pack, if you haven't heard about us, we are the real movers and shakers in here. Literally, we're the ones moving this needle together as a collective. And so I heard what Elder Val said. Elder Val, too, love the hell out of you as well. So I don't got to go to those spaces. I don't have to frequent places. The only point and the reason why I didn't know it was a whole conundrum before, like I said, I had went to your space with the scholarship that I put in front of y'all 3 times. On the 4th time, when I thought you were just saying it was an open mic, if you have a problem with the judge, come say something. And I was more hoping that day and today would help kind of formulate how much this means to us, how much this means to our collective as a whole. And that was more of the angle that we could maybe move his idea to. I understand, make your money, get your money, do your thing, but try not to make it about something that we are all pot committed to. That's all we're asking. You know what I'm saying? Dana, I apologize to you for coming sideways at you, because I really had nothing but respect for you up until this point. So I apologize for anything. If I came off snooty or whatever, that's not my point. My point is to be putty in the ancestors' hands. That's why I'm here, period. And anything above and beyond that is kind of out of my pay grade. And I ain't got it, all of us. We on borrowed time. So let's do what we can when we can with the facilities at our disposal. So again, Newstoter and Brother DJ, hey, I love the hell out of y'all. You know I do whatever I can for y'all whenever I can. And I do not come off my mic like that. Y'all have seen me in way crazier spaces where I held my composure. It was just, this is something that, like, literally I have put my all into for the last 3 years. And, you know, it hurts to see someone that I've looked up to literally since I was like 10 or watched on TV and seen while I was eating dinner, supper at, Grandma and Aunt Tammy's house. Like, I've watched him, and to see him pretty much chat, not to cuss, on something that people I respect more than anyone, really, up until this point, you know what I'm saying? Like, because of the real we found together, we found it in this movement on this crazy ass European supremacist application. It's crazy, I know, but we really have been boots on the ground together. I know these people. I love these people, for real. And I know they're stepping for our ancestors. So that was more what I was hoping to say to anybody in this space. Dana, Judge Joe Brown, I know he's not here, and I shouldn't even have brought up his name tonight because he ain't here. But I was just saying I was frustrated because I had put my all the scholarship we put it in front of someone I've respected my whole life, and he pretty much spat on it and said, "Oh, there's no way." When we have lawyers on our end too doing the same thing, like we're having a meeting coming up soon, within a week, to talk to our lawyers about these ideas, because literally we really are on the boots on the ground moving the needle. Washington State, we're moving the needle. Hey, so literally, that's all it was. And anything I said out of pocket, I apologize and I take it back. Thank you very much, Newstoter, for holding this space. And I hope that I did articulate my thoughts I'll listen to it in the recording because I know I probably did. I had Newstoter all hot about it, bro. My bad, man. Forget high blood pressure, man. We don't need none of that. So, my bad. I apologize, and I'll land right there. Thanks.
Let me say this: what you donated to me when? A Cash App? I don't remember. You donated on my YouTube platform?
Yeah, your YouTube platform. I ain't gotta lie. Yeah.
It must have been a while ago.
My name is Jamin Mason. I'm sure you saw me. And what I'm saying.
Spell that? Wait. Spell your name?
Yeah, Jamin Mason, Mason. That's my real guy.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, I know you have it. Yes, ma'am.
So, I appreciate you at one point donating. That's fine, and you don't have to. I don't know where people getting this notion I'm doing it for money. I don't make money on X. X don't pay. My money is on YouTube, and honestly, I don't talk about reparations because YouTube don't like that content, or they don't like reparations on YouTube. You think I'm gonna talk about something that's not gonna make me money on YouTube? Now, if I was getting a whole bunch of views that was monetized talking about reparations, my whole platform would have been about reparations. So stop. Get. I don't know where you get this from. Making money things. A couple you and somebody else brought up. A couple other people brought up money. I don't talk about reparations on YouTube. I'm a content creator. I talk about a whole bunch of other stuff. We mainly talk about Congress, the law, the Constitution. So if you want to incorporate reparations in that, yeah, you need to know the Constitution. You need to know about the laws. You need to know about legislation. And that is what he has said, the judge has said over and over again. Those 6 hours last week, Tuesday, was a lot of talk about how to get it. And you had an opportunity to ask him that. And you, that Negro, you had a good, healthy dialogue with him about what you put in the Jumbotron, the special order, whatever. You had a dialogue with him. If you walked away, upset that he didn't come to your conclusion, that's on you. And FYI, the judge does not have an email. So I don't know, you're emailing him what? Who gave you this email address? He doesn't have an email.
I guess that's above your pay grade, ma'am. Am I you?
No, it's not above my pay grade. He does not pay me. So there you go again. You just talking out your ass just to be talking. He does not have an email. I'm telling you, he does not have an email. So whoever said this is Judge Joe Brown email, I'm telling you for 1,000% fact, they gave you a phony email address, sir. He does not have an email. So all your documents you were emailing him and you never got a response because he never got it because he does not have one. Now that's my favorite.
I said my inbox on
X. You also said email. And you also said
I misspoke.
You also said
I misspoke.
He responded to you.
I
you
misspoke.
Also said he responded.
Did. On my inbox on X, he did.
All right then.
So I mean,
so you can't say two separate things. First, you said you sent him messages on the inbox and X, and he responded, and you said you emailed him and you didn't get a response. Pick one.
I just told you I misspoke about the email. It was on X. No, I haven't. Play the recording.
All righty. Let me go ahead and get to the next speaker. Art, are you still up here, Art?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
I want to address kind of two things. Echo chambers is a real big problem on this app. Real big problem. I would argue super big problem. And addressing, as I was going to one point here with that Negro, you were cool with my advice, bro, when I told you about People vs. Hall, which I got from the same lawyers that brought up the shit about special, excuse part of my language, for same stuff when I brought about special field order 15. So it's weird how we pick and choose our battles. I like to be on the side of truth, or what I feel is truth, regardless of people's opinions on it. You can have your opinion, you're entitled to it, but if you want echo chambers, you're not going to get that from me. I don't echo chamber. I just don't. Matter of fact, most people know my ideology in here. None of you share it. So it's clear. It's very clear I don't like echo chambers. I wouldn't get on this app if I did. And so I think that that's not going to get us anywhere, because how do you, like, when lawyers train for opposing counsels, how do you think they do it? They go get people who don't agree with them. And so you want to fight this battle against people who vehemently disagree with you. And you rather get chin-checked by the enemy than train with people who might disagree with you right here in this room. That doesn't make sense to me. And then the thing that is, and I notice a lot of things, but people are entitled to people's time. So if somebody wastes the time to help you, regardless, gratitude is a currency. So I would argue, it's probably one of the better currencies. And I don't see a lot of gratitude on this app, period, from multiple people. To me, it's weird. We're supposed to be ethnic group and ethnocentric, but when you get amongst each other, you have zero gratitude, for the very least of people's time. And so it makes it very difficult to continue to at least get on the app at the very least and push along and try to help people. Because if you try to help and it's thrown back in your face, that's one less person for at least on this app that's going to be trying to help in any capacity. And so I never asked anybody for nothing on this app. Matter of fact, I've given probably thousands of hours of free labor, free work, free advice, free everything. And that Negro, the reason why I don't reply to you is because I got a bunch of people asking for free shit in my email. So if I don't get to it, my bad. Tell you about that. Mad, if you're mad because I don't share your opinion or I didn't get right back, or you're just pretty much ungrateful as I see it. So, but don't worry, I'm not taking offense to it. I'm grateful that you listened to me for the time you did. See how gratefulness works? So I'm not even mad at you. So I just want to show people that you can be grateful for even people showing you how ungrateful people are. And so it's just, we got to do better. All of us. I don't know what else to say. We're not going to be grateful. We're just going to get into echo chambers, and it's going to be rinse and repeat conversations every day. I've seen Twitter. I've seen the activists that actually did move before this app was brought out. Like, I want to say around the 2013, it was right before the 2000, all the way up to before the 2016 election. That's when you got Occupy Wall Street, arguably Black Lives Matter, and all these other movements that spin off of Twitter. But most of those activists left this app, I promise you. This is what's left over. And so you have some people who actually probably do stuff or actually move, but they're not the actual activists. I would say they're people who try to push to help, I don't know, get other people to do something. And that's not work to me, by the way. For all those people that keep saying, "Oh, you need to do the work." No, if your work is to try to get somebody else to do work, you're not doing the work. That's not how that works. If I was sitting here trying to work to feed people, right? Oh, I didn't need to convince somebody else to feed people and not getting out there myself and feeding people, I'm not doing the work. That's not how that works. So I'll end it there.
All right. Thank you, Art. We're going to close this thing out in about 15 more minutes, guys. So everybody that comes up here, I'm going to give you 2 to 3 minutes to speak, and then we're going to go ahead and move it out because it's Sunday night. And I want to go ahead and wrap this thing up here. So we're not going to be here too much longer, 15 minutes at max. Because pretty much everybody up here spoke. So we're going to go ahead and give you a couple minutes to speak. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to close this down. I know Dana was talking about her platform. She has like 100,000 followers on YouTube. I only got a little bit over 2,000 followers on YouTube, guys. So we definitely need your support. For those that can support on Cash App, $Newstoter, $Newstoter. Newstoter is the largest Black-owned, Black American news media curation platform today in America. For those that want to do a monthly contribution for as little as $1.75 in the Jumbotron on the right-hand side, we have a subscription-based to the Newstoter.com platform for as little as $1.75 a month. We got a number of people on here that subscribe to the actual channel as well, too, to the actual website. So you can definitely support us for $1.75 a month, recurring payments. $1.75. You support Black-owned business, pretty affordable and pretty cheap as well, too, guys. And we definitely need that support. So definitely for those that can support us, whether it's on Cash App or it's by getting a subscription, we definitely appreciate that. If you don't have Cash App, we have the Venmo and PayPal up in the Jumbotron. Same for my people over there on YouTube. The actual customer panel link is on the actual front of the actual on the actual YouTube channel. You guys can go ahead, go to the description. You can find the PayPal, the Venmo, and all that other stuff as well too. So, like I said, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna get this thing because it's Sunday night. We want to go ahead and get it. We've been having a pretty good discussion tonight. I want to go ahead and end this thing in a little bit. So I'm going to give everybody 2 to 3 minutes, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on. Talent, I'm going to let you. I see you just came up here. I wasn't going to take anybody else. If you got the earpods on, you got to take them out. But I'll give you 2 to 3 minutes, and then we're going to go to the next speaker. But go ahead, Talent.
Hey, peace and love. Can you hear me, or do I need to take them out?
Yeah, go ahead and take them out so we can hear you. So the people on YouTube can hear you clear too.
All right, so go to the next person and give me a second.
All right. Well, let me go ahead and get to let me get to Miss Val, and I'm gonna get to Love I Am Original. I got you as well too. Go ahead, Val.
Sorry, thank you. Thank you for allowing me to speak again. I just wanted to come back in and just reiterate what I was saying, because I'm not knocking Dana for her spaces or anything, because I don't believe in being the police and deciding what somebody's title or what they speak on, what it should be or what it shouldn't be. I'm just saying, and what I was just saying that a lot of us grew up with Judge Joe Brown, and I don't know, it's weird over there, because especially when she says that she's just doing it for content, and it doesn't look right, for our community. I want to speak to people in the space that are fighting hard and working hard and doing the work, even art. He's a little much, but I think he's really very smart, and I appreciate his work, and everybody else that's in the space. That even if you're just sitting here listening, and you're trying to get this information, but we gotta be careful about negative titles, negative vibes as far as our reparations is concerned. And just be aware that there are people working out here really hard on reparations. I don't know whether Jehovah's going to come first or we're going to get them first. I don't know. But just, be aware that we need to be careful. As someone else was speaking, I believe it was Hazard. Sometimes people say things and it's just for shock value or cause a conversation, and it does strike a nerve. So, you guys, I just want to say peace and love to everybody, especially to my youngers, and don't be discouraged by, things that discourage you. Shout out to that Negro, Newstoter. I always support y'all, and DJ and Professor, and Negro Republic. I want him to speak. I want to hear what he has to say. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Val. Talent.
I'm sorry. I wanted to respond, but go ahead.
Let me get the Talent real quick. I was going to let you say something at the end, Dana, because we want to go ahead and try to close this out.
I want to respond to, because I don't want to forget it, because I want to respond to Val real quick. Assumptions he said. I don't do it just for content. I said I'm a content creator. And this is for everyone. Y'all have no idea. And unless you are a content creator, Newstoter, he's a content creator. He could vouch for this. What I do on YouTube, it is so hard. When I have 100K, it took me a while, and I did a lot of hard work just to get to 100K. If I talk about anything negative about Black people on YouTube, I would have 500,000, probably 1 million. And if I talked about pop culture and celebrity. So when I do talk, the stuff I talk about on YouTube, they really don't like that. I mean, they really don't, and especially because it's Judge Joe Brown. I've had Marcel on my platform, Marcel, I use an example, twice. And it was not controversy, right? But because what Marcel is doing in South Carolina, and because my channel is my channel, those 2 videos were never monetized. Automatically, they were not going to run ads on it because it was Marcel and it was what we were talking about. They don't want nothing positive for Black people. X is really the only platform where you can actually have productive, positive, and negative. You can do whatever you want on X. But it's funny though, because up until, let's say, last week, every Tuesday, Judge Joe Brown hosts a space, right? And I would do titles, whether it's about politics or whatever. It would be majority non-Black people. It's not a whole lot of it's not a whole lot of people, period. And then when we talked about certain things, you know, especially when Goddess came up and he mentioned China, a lot of that stuff go over my head because there's a lot of deep people that be in these spaces. Y'all don't show up to those conversations. So when I do put that type of triggering, because it is a triggering title, people want to come in and then you just coming in just with emotion talking, right? But at least it's talking. But I've met a lot of great people on X that I've networked with, invited them on my platform that are actually doing the work. And that's what I talk about on YouTube. And YouTube don't like it. So I say all that to say, because I'm not going to go into details about the algorithm. The algorithm is anti-Black, not Judge Joe Brown.
All right. Let me go ahead and get the talent. Talent, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Got it.
Shout out to Newstoter, DJ, Professor, for the conversation tonight. Everybody that's been in space and contributing to it. The elephant in the room is basically that what happened in Shut Up Space as pertains to his weekly review, like not this Saturday, but the previous one, and individuals who had an issue with her or had an issue with what Judge Joe Brown said is not people that's actually doing reparations work, or people who are putting their money up to do reparations work, or people who are finding ways to do what they can for reparations work. It's about people who are not doing anything. I stumbled across that room and had an interesting back and forth with Dana and Judge, and I learned that the conversation isn't about people that do work. It's about people who don't. And I think that kind of just needs to be clarified. And this entire time, a lot of people who do work, I guess based on the tonality of what that room was, right? Because as a content creator, you curate a certain vibe. As a person who creates content, you know certain conversations lead certain ways, and you can leverage them this way, that way. But the main focus that I got from it, because I even went back to listen to it, and was like, am I bugging? Because I'm hearing this shit a little weird. No, I was not the audience that she was looking for. She had a whole back and forth with Buffalo. Buffalo didn't show up in the space. There was other people who had issues with Judge Joe Brown. So those were supposed to have been the people to show up to that room, because it seemed to be more about that, right? Everybody else that's doing work, that's running candidates, that's looking to get politically involved, that understands legislation, that knows that Mother Jones and Gravel just released something about Special Field Order 15 and the amount of people that got land, and you got to find the research, and they got a new search machine where you could look up and find your ancestors who were issued 40 acres or less and actually settled on the lands, and when it was rescinded, they had to leave. So now that becomes a whole nother conversation about what that actually can look like when we have access to documentation. So the ones who do the work, who who care about doing the work know that more things need to be done, whether it's more media surrounding this conversation, more advocacy going outside, more people in elected official offices in terms of getting in Congress, Senate, and all areas of politics. So those who doing the work, man. This whole conversation really ain't about people that's doing shit. It's about people that's not. And that's not the message I got. I clearly was late to the space that she had, and I had to, okay, let me listen back to this and see what's going on. So she has a bone to pick with specific people. I hope you put a name on it, because I think it was a broader stroke, and some people caught strays because it seemed like you was talking to people in a movement, but you clarified that you have it. So it is what it is. Those do the work, and whoever ain't, then deal with that shit. Peace and love.
All right. Thank you. Let me go ahead and get to Love I Am. Y'all watch the cursing too, because we're trying to close it out. Love I Am, you got it. Love I Am, are you there? I don't know if she may have stepped away from the mic. Love I Am, are you there? Or maybe she's in the Matrix. Okay, Love I Am may not be there. So let me go ahead and go to Original. Go ahead and get it in for a couple minutes. I'm going to get to that Negro, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to be closing this thing out. We'll get to the co-hosts. I know they had their hands up. We want to go ahead and close this thing out. So 2 minutes, Original, then that Negro 2 minutes, and we go ahead and close it out.
Hey, Newstoter, let me say this. When it was implied that you was taking sides, as long as I've been in your space, I've never known you to take sides. You've always allowed people to speak. So I just want to say that. And I want to say this to Newstoter. I put in the purple chat, there was an article by Karen Griggs Bates from the LA Times. It was July of 1990. She did an article about the boule. People try to use trickery to make you think something is what it isn't. The boule, known as Sigma Pi Phi, is like the oldest fraternity for Black folks. And it is a fraternity whereby when that was in the LA Times, Steve Coker did the majority of the research. And it showed how these people in this boule, they have been working against the best interests of Black America. And he exposed a lot of them. And the youngest one, Martin King was a member, but he got out because he saw the destruction that they were doing to Black folks. Same thing with Dr. Carter G. Woodson. And so I want to say that because people don't let people use these Republican sleight of hand tactics to try to make you believe something that more than likely ain't true. Just a talking point that they got from the Republican. And let me say this. It was implied that I was a Democrat. I'm not a Democrat or Republican. But say what you want, but prove it. And I said what I said, and I'm not going to apologize for it. Because that's what it looked like to me. Like people like to, put these little scripted titles out there to get all these clicks and things. And people don't fall for that. All that's doing is wasting your time, and you're putting your energy into stupidity. So I would just say to people, don't do that. If you see something like that, just avoid it like I did. I just avoided it, but yeah, I'm entitled to a comment, and I'll make that. And it's amazing, because see, our ancestors were enslaved for so long, because we always had these boule people coming in, going to the enslaver, telling when there was going to be a revolt, or if they knew somebody was trying to escape, to foil their plan. So people just be aware that there are people out here that don't have your best interest at heart. They're just looking for you to. They're just looking to use you to get clicks, to increase their numbers on whatever social media they choose to be on. But I just want to say that because I think but if you all get a chance, go and read that article. It's by Karen Griggs Bates. It's a boule article, and she talks about this secret. It's a secret society of Black men that have been working behind the scenes. Because see what happened in LA, we were doing some things at the good life.
Hey, original. I don't mean to cut you off, but let me go ahead and get you to land it so we can go ahead and.
Yeah, I just go ahead and land. I just go ahead and land with that. But people, just be careful. Do your research. Don't allow anyone to inform you as to what's going on. Do your own research.
All right. Let me give a shout out to the brother Moku too for his contribution on Cash App. Love I Am, are you there? Love I Am, are you there? Okay, Love I Am. She may be in the matrix or she may have stepped away. Let me go ahead and get to Dat Negro real quick. Dat Negro, let me give you 2-3 minutes and then we're gonna go ahead and, like I said, we're trying to close this thing out.
Yes, sir. It ain't even gonna take that long. Actually, 2 to 3 minutes is way longer than what I need. I was just responding to Art. I have appreciated everything. I think everybody in the Negro Collective knows that I blasted your name everywhere for the scholarship you gave us. I blasted your name everywhere. Thank you so much. Like, yeah, that's cool. But when I give you my email, I've been out here on the streets with our people. I know what that's like now, and I know that keeping each other safe, that comes to trusting each other. We got to trust each other, and you got to trust the people that we're out here moving with, especially on major issues or reparations. I mean, for real. So when I didn't get a response when I gave you my email and everything, trying to kind of talk with you, I was just trying to talk. And at that point, you knew that I was a real one from everything I had shown you. So, you know, I'm just saying, when another person that I trust came up and said the same thing, hey, I've never seen Art's email either. Like, that's weird for people that are out here really moving. And I'm just saying, like, you know, if you're out here and you're worth, I'm not taking none of your brilliance away. I'm just saying that's weird. Like, me as a good person, if I give you my email and we're building, I expect you to give yours to me as well. That's just reciprocal, and that's the only way real work can happen. So I just wanted to say that I've never not given you your cigar for nothing. I've always appreciated the help you have given me, myself, and the Negro Collective, because you've done both. I'm not saying you're not brilliant. What I'm saying is I can't trust a man 100% until I can shake their hand. That's what I'm saying. Or at least have some kind of personable, conversation. So I'll land right there again. Thanks, Newstoter.
All right, thank you.
Newstoter, can I get like 20 seconds before that?
It's gonna have to be 20 seconds, Art, because we're trying to close this out.
Yeah, I got you. I don't need people to trust me, believe in me, any of that. But all I need you to do is argue against or for the argument that I'm making. That's it. Beginning and end of it. You don't do or don't trust it. Just make an argument for or against it. That's all I'm looking for. That's it.
All right, thank you, Art. Love I Am, are you there? Try to see. I think she's gone. Dana, did you want to say something real quick before I let the co-host go ahead and close it out?
Well, yeah, in closing, listen, that was 6 hours, and New Negro, I think he was the last speaker. That was on the 6 hour, honey, and I was like, I was vampire zombie at that point. And it's like I had to kind of catch him up to speed, but I appreciate what he said, and that's exactly what the space was about. None of them didn't show up, and that's fine, because I'm not holding a 6 hour space again. We may revisit, quote unquote, the reparations talk, but like I said, this week, Tuesday, hey, it's going to be some more people upset, but I'm going to be I'm going to act a lot of people who, when I hold this space Tuesday, so yeah, so y'all upset now, I'm saying y'all, generalizing it, y'all upset, y'all in your feelings now, it's going to be a whole lot more other people upset, and I want to see the people that I act, they really want to pull up, like the Nikki Barnes, Luke Campbell, all those Democrat shields or whatever, right? So yeah, so that's going to be this upcoming Tuesday. And and listen, if you're not a content creator, you know what I'm saying, it's a different way you kind of see things than from a person who is actually a content creator, especially if you're a content creator full time. But make no mistake about it, when I say algorithm, or if I'm talking about other social media platforms, they censor the hell out of everybody, every walk of life, if you are not subscribed to a certain agenda or talking point. But when it comes to Black people or Black issues, we are marginalized in the algorithm. That is a fact. They only want to hear us talk about celebrity stuff and gossip and the tea and pop culture, or something negative when it has to do, whether it's the manosphere or red pill or baby mama, whatever. That's where they characterize Black content creators and content, period. And X is the only place for people to talk about whatever and not be censored. And I even hear some people, kind of complaining about X, doing certain things when it comes to Black spaces. And I say all that to say, X is a good place to network. Like I said, I've met a lot of good people who I have been able to speak to offline. And you can have your disagreements. You can dislike someone. You don't even have to go in someone's space if you're not interested. But also take advantage of the networking. And as for Judge Joe Brown, listen, he's not here to, if you want to say, defend or speak for himself. But I can tell you this, he doesn't dislike being a Black man nor Black people. He lived through it. He has been a judge longer than he actually been a judge on television. He has done all of his adult life and young adult life. He's done a lot of advocacy, a lot of activism, and a lot of kick-ass, got shot at, I ain't gonna say he shot at people, but he got shot at. It's a lot of things that he does not talk about a lot. And then also, maybe going forward, that I'm going to have him speak more to, when I say his resume, more to what he did when he was in his 20s, 30s, 40s, throughout his career before Hollywood, because that's the story. What was he doing before you guys see him on TV? Because majority of people, you see him as the judge on television, and that's great. But the other side to that man, you don't know the story. And that is something I think he does need to talk more to. So, but again, Newstoter, this is a good space. I appreciate it, and everybody that came up and speak or whatever. But like I said, if you got a problem with me, or definitely not so much me, but definitely with the judge, pull up every Tuesday. Don't be scared.
All right. Thank you, Dana. To my co-host, Professor, you want to get something in here real quick, Professor? You, DJ?
Great space tonight, family. Overall, I got a chance to sit back and hear some great viewpoints about the judge. We kind of got off on a tangent, but hey, that's what the family does. But Dana, sister, I'll be there Tuesday night for your Tuesday night space. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you can get all of the Democratic shields up in there, because there sure is a lot of them out here. Now, with that being said, in reference to Judge Joe Brown, as many times I have been up in Dana spaces and listened to Judge Joe Brown, it's nothing that he says that really bothers me. Because everybody has a difference of opinion about how things should be handled. So, therefore, nothing he says really bothers me. But, and I said this before, earlier, Dana has one person in that space that I guess nobody paid attention to that was doing stuff and saying stuff to get people pissed off. And y'all not even talking about that person. And that was the person named Queen Mott. She was actually saying more in that space against Black American reparations than Judge Joe Brown has ever said. Because Judge Joe Brown has never said that he's against Black Americans receiving reparations. He's never said that. But this person has been up in there saying Black Americans are basically complainers, lazy, don't deserve reparations, all kinds of stuff. And I guess nobody paid attention to that in that 6-hour space. I don't see how people miss that person. And she was very popular in that space.
Wait, I'm cracking up, Professor, just real quick, because a friend of mine, he called me and said, I'm doing my X space. He hopped in. He calls me back in 5 minutes, like, I'm triggered. I ain't listening to your space. I'm triggered because of that B, blah, 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 because of Queen behind her. So, yeah, that was a great point. And I always teach Brooklyn Israelites. I say, that's your girlfriend, because they always go at it, because he comes to the space regularly. But that's a great point.
All right. Hey, Ian, I see you trying to come up, but we getting ready to close it out. I'm going to let DJ say something, then we closing it out, brother. I don't know if they're going to be doing anything later, but I got to go ahead and run. But DJ, go ahead real quick. You there, DJ? I don't even know if DJ's DJ, are you there in the space? Okay, DJ. Professor, I don't know if DJ, I don't know what happened with DJ, but on that note, guys, we're going to go ahead and we're going to close this space up. I don't know if DJ may be preparing another space later tonight, guys. I'm not entirely sure. Thank everybody for coming in. This is a Sunday night space. It's been a little while since we had one. I don't know, maybe a month or so ago. Maybe, I'm not even sure, but we don't normally we did one yesterday, a Saturday space about when Trump, and then we did one today. So we normally don't touch up on the weekend, but we did hit the weekend up, guys. So we will be back sometime this week. I'm not sure we got one planned for tomorrow. We may wait to Tuesday or Wednesday, but we'll be back. Thank everybody that came out tonight. Thank all of the speakers, the listeners. We'll see you then. Be safe. Have a good Sunday night. Peace.